Anyway, okay, so sorry there was a text message, that disturbed me, and sorry it was a big pause because the reason why I have to pause, in the middle of making this video, because I have to make an outline and I have to think, like what to say about 2020. I mean, because there's a lots of things to say about this year. That's why I have to put an outline, right? Yeah, this year is just no joke, man. I can rank, like other years, like why that bad year, without using outline. But when a lot of bad things happen all in one year, then I suggest you put yourself an outline, so that way you can explain everything thoroughly. That way you avoid getting bad comments and dislike, on the video, right? Yeah, so if there's too much idea to remember, then just put an outline. So that way you just read off there, and that way you don't get criticized. So that's a smart idea. I get a Word document, read straight from my outline. The outline just gives me a hint, but not explain. But I have to do the explain, myself, right? I mean, outlines is very useful for ideas, and also writing essays and stuff. But that's not what this video about. Talking about 2020, right? I think out of many years I've been living through, 2020 is the world's craziest year ever, right? All that crazy little things, that just happened, I see lots of crazy things that happened in 2020, and there's other crazy thing that I never seen before. You probably saw it in 2020, right? Too many crazy, unrealistic news everywhere in 2020, right? And just in terms of general, so, yep. So I think like from January to all the way to December, 2020, all those months are very horrible, and every single month we have problem, and that is not good, man. So ever since COVID case and Kobe Bryant died, and that's when I start really hating this year so much, right? So let me go over a quick recap of like why 2020 really sucks, for me and for all of you guys, right? And I'll name the biggest reason, like why this year really sucks, and put down a lot of people, right, at the end. So best goes for last, towards the end. So everybody knows it, and I know it too, and we all cannot handle it, and this is just very unfortunate, right? I'll go over the second half and the first half of 2020 as well. The second half of 2020 is definitely much worse than the first half, to be very honest with you. And I was right. I never get my prediction wrong. So in January, somebody, blocked me on, Snapchat, because I just post, a bunch of crazy things, Yeah, I just post, crazy stuff and talk nonsense, whenever I'm upset. Yeah, I get upset, really easily, and back in January, this is when we see, first COVID cases, as actually it was in 2019, not 2020, but COVID cases starting, to rise up very quickly, right? And I, lost my, Nissan car key that almost cost $400, and next month, got filed complaint, on YouTube. Yeah, because I ain't supposed to post, video or pictures, of people. This is why, I get filed complaint, and around, April, where I start getting, layoff, from work due to, the global pandemic. And also, we have racism problem, you know, in America. We have the murder hornets coming, you know, to America. We got protest problem. We got the shooting going on, you know, and earthquake problem. I mean, that's just the first half of 2020. So the first half of 2020, you know, I almost lost my Pokemon Go main account because I was spoofing, you know, a lot. But probably, you know, like thanks to, you know, to like this global pandemic, Niantic, you know, unbanned, you know, all the band's account. Yeah, this is why people spoof, you know, Pokemon because of the, you know, global pandemic situation. And there's like explosion going on. There was a huge wildfire going, you know, in Austria. And also we lost a lot of, you know, celebrity this year, like crazy amount, whether it's the, you know, virus or not. Yeah, we lost a lot of celebrity this year, like crazy. Like we lost like celebrity like almost every single day, or sometimes we lost like 3 or 4 celebrity, you know, in just one single day, man. And the reason why 2020 is a bad year is because we have lots of crazy news, you know, even in sport or everywhere, you know, on every single subject we have very crazy things that ain't supposed to be happening, and it did happen, and it's driving us nuts. And 2020 has been beating like so many, you know, war records, you know, that just came out of nowhere, no explanation. Yeah, there's a lot of world record, you know, breaking, you know, in 2020. Like, it's just so crazy. This is why, you know, it drives me nuts. And also, one biggest thing, you know, that why I already started, you know, hating 2020, you know, even on the first days, because YouTube update. Yes, man, they're just putting, you know, more restriction and less freedom, you know, on YouTube. We have racism problem, like I said, you know, today we witnessed, you know, George Floyd's, you know, death. We have the riots, you know, like everywhere, like people rioting because they want to fight for equality. I cannot believe racism is still a problem and is probably never gonna end. And then, you know, the plane, you know, crash in Iran. And also, I'm living with the weirdest, craziest dog ever. And why am I living, you know, with the crazy? How is my dog so weird, right? Well, the thing is, every time when he goes on a walk, he gets nervous, and whenever he retracts a lot when I give him a walk. And also, when I do weird stuff to him, like he's, you know, fine with it, and I don't know, but there's just a lot to say, you know, about this dog, and I don't want to explain all this video. I mean, I'm living with a pretty, you know, weird dog, you know, that acts very strange, and whenever he plays with a toy, he just wants, you know, to yank it or keep the toy, you know, to himself. And now, you know, we can go over, you know, the second half of, you know, of 2020, you know, let's say that why the second half of 2020 gets worse. So as you can see, you know, California has faced wildfire, right? And there's explosion going in Burkitt, and you know, I have to still, you know, look back in the outline, you know, to see, you know, like why, you know, this year really sucked. Or I have to go to my YouTube channel to see like why am I complaining about 2020. Like there's a lot more in the second half than just the first half alone. You have to go to my YouTube channel to see what's wrong with this year, man. And also COVID cases, I mean, I'm supposed not say that's virus, but the virus case increased very insane. And as of December 30th of 2020, there are 80 old, I think we almost have like 100 million COVID cases, and 1.8 million people die from COVID, especially US. You don't have the same amount, and 250,000 of COVID cases are US. And yeah, and this year is also a very pretty much a mass murder this year. Nearly 2 million people die from the virus, in just this year alone. Death rate cases start to rise up, picking up very quicker. And now like when people it just became a lot of restriction whenever this pandemic's here. I mean, that's the biggest reason like why people struggle this year. Lots of losses this year. And around August we still lose like a lot more celebrities. Are they explaining that the wildfire? So how big was the wildfire in California? Like, I'm not explaining that, but let me explain give you detail about the wildfire in California. So at least 4 million acres were burned in California. That's the worst wildfire we ever had. And we have to smell this wildfire or bad air quality for over a month. And also we've been having lots of dry and very bad weather in California or the United States in general. Like, we've been having very terrible weather. I mean, ever since 2016, it's like things are just changing really fast, and so is the weather. I mean, this is why this year's been sucking, because of the weather problem causing wildfire and all stuff. I believe that the wildfire was caused by lightning on around August, and then 2 months later things got much worse. And I have never said in this video, and this is really sad to talk about. My uncle passed away this year, October 27 of 2020, at the age of 70. He died from a colon cancer, man. He got the cancer around February, and then went to a hospital and had to quit his job on June 2020, and then fighting the colon cancer. So he's been at stage 4 cancer for at least 3 months. And this is how my uncle passed away, and I had to visit a funeral. I hate going to the funeral, man. I hate it. You know why I hate going to funeral? Remind me of sad memories and all that stuff. And I haven't been to the funeral since my grandma on my dad's side passed away the day after my birthday. I haven't been to the funeral since August 2011. But I wanted to avoid the funeral for at least 10 years. But since my uncle passed away from a colon cancer this year, and it's only a little over 9 years, I didn't make it to 10 years. That's the saddest part that happened to my family, is that I lost my uncle. Because let me explain about cancer. If you don't detect the cancer early enough, then obviously you will get stage 4, and once stage 4, then it's impossible to recover, and pretty much you only have like less than 6 months to live. So that's exactly what happened. And around November, I definitely become like more like acting like a total idiot because I'm just acting up in 2020 because I'm fan of 2020, and also one of Ashwin's friends blocked me because I just didn't give him a right back, and because I was acting all selfish. And also around November's because of the 2020 election, that was very crazy and it's ridiculous. And this is why 2020 sucks, because I cannot believe that a president sued the election, which I never heard of. There's a lot of things that I never heard of in the past. That's just all of a sudden happened in 2020. That doesn't even make any sense. Why would Donald Trump sue the election if he know he's gonna lose? Like, come on, Trump. I mean, this is why Trump lost the election, because he's definitely not responsible for for the virus thing. He thinks that the virus does not exist. And what an idiot he is, man. And that's why like a lot of people have picked Joe Biden as well, and Joe Biden is, both presidents in my opinion are being racist, and they're being a pedophile, man. Yeah, this is why I don't like Joe Biden either. But to be honest with you, like, I don't care, like, I pretty much doesn't matter which president will be in office, whether it's Joe Biden or Trump. I support neither of them. They're both equally dangerous, man. Yeah, this is what and also we feel like we're being very separated in 2020. Separation has a big, the separation situation got worse in 2020 because there's lots of racism going on, protests going on, people fighting just because the different pigment of their skin and color of the skin and different look. Like, what? I mean, to be honest, when I recap this is just pretty much stupidity. There's a lots of idiots going on around our society. This is why our society is messed up. Like, one of my friend or several of my friends say that living in this society is so messed up. Yeah, because we have so much politics problem and like society problem. Like, people just argue, people just keep fighting. Yeah, this is why it got to a riots and all stuff. And also a few months ago, like, I even see thousands of people protest and even attack polices, man, which is never unheard of. And honestly, to order go recap like how human behavior in 2020 is a laughing stock of humanity, man. People just don't take things seriously, and now we even have a dumb leader in America that doesn't care about this global pandemic. And I'm not gonna say who it is because it's very offensive and I don't want to offend anyone, but this is just my opinion. Yeah, and also in December like more crazy things happening. Let me go over this. Yes, I already explained. Oh, I almost forgot to explain that somebody make a fake Instagram account of me, and I feel like it's violating my privacy. It's making me really mad, and also trying to hack on other people's account. Yeah, I've been seeing lots of fake account going on, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, millions of fake account, man. And I cannot believe that someone impersonate me, someone use my profile image without my permission, and I try and report that person as much as I can, and Instagram is doing nothing about it. And there are just so many bad things that happen in 2020. And when it comes to December, things does not get any better. Right? And another thing, I forgot to mention is that I have to, definitely, move out of the house because it's just a lot of work. you know, because I moved out, you know, from a big house. Yeah, moving out, you know, really sucks, you know, and because, you know, because I talked about the wildfire, you know, a lot, you know, in 2020, like I thought like my house is gonna get, the house I live in, I thought it's gonna get burned down because the wildfire spread like crazy, but it didn't. I thought that I'll lose a house or lose a life. And also the one thing I forgot to mention is that I um I almost get into like multiple, you know, accident, right? What accident are you talking about? Be specific. Well, there's a lot of accident, you know, that almost happened to me this year, you know, that could have get me handicapped or could get me killed. I almost get into, you know, like multiple car accident, obviously because a car honked at me. Like I give you like one example, you know, like where I almost got into an accident, you know. So let's just say that, you know, around, you know, let's say August, you know, I was driving on my way home and this car, you know, like fails, you know, stop at the stop sign and I almost hit the car, you know. Or sometimes, you know, I drive carelessly, you know, and that's why, you know, I almost got into an accident. Yeah, if I get into a car accident, you know, this year would have been, you know, like more than 2 times worse. And something bad things just happened to me, you know, yesterday, you know, when I was grinding so hard, you know, in Pokemon Go, you know, due to the lucky egg and, you know, double XP event in Pokemon Go, is that I almost lost my key. Or I thought I lost my Nissan, you know, car key again, and I have to pay another $400, you know, out of my pocket. So the thing is that I just misplaced my key, you know, in the car, or the key just dropped out of my pocket, you know, and hide somewhere in the car, you know, like where I could not find it. And when you drive, you know, a Nissan, you know, Ultima car, then you know how the key works, you know, without the key your car cannot operate. And when your car operates and suddenly you cannot find your key, that means your key has definitely been located inside the car, and I couldn't, you know, find, you know, where the key is, so I have to go to, you know, to the Nissan, you know, dealer, you know, to help me, you know, to locate, you know, the missing key, you know, in the car, because yeah, I definitely cannot, you know, leave the key in the car, because if I do, somebody can steal it, because the Nissan, you know, car will be always be unlocked, you know, if I leave my key inside. Yeah, I do leave my key inside, you know, like every time I try to lock the door, and when I close my car, then let me say beep 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 beep. The car just won't lock itself, you know, until the key's out of the car. And yeah, that was a very terrible situation. I mean, do I have to pay, you know, $400 just to find that missing key in the car? Well, fortunately, I didn't. I thought I would lose enough $400, but I didn't. But somehow, you know, the guy is like very nice to me, you know. He found my car key, you know, in 30 seconds. It was just hidden, you know, right under the seat where I just cannot see. I was just not looking, you know, carefully, you know. So I just wasted like 1.5 hours, you know, of my, you know, free time just because I'm looking for that stupid key, man. That'll be shocking, you know, like if I have to pay, you know, $400, you know, twice, you know, in the same year, or losing, you know, 2 Nissan car keys, you know, all in 1 year. That would have been very terrible. And also, I've been, you know, struggling, you know, in running, right? And one of the biggest reasons, you know, like why I hate this year a lot, and my friends hate this year a lot, and billions of people hate this year. I already explained in this video. One of the biggest main reason, you know, like why, you know, 2020 suck so hard, so bad, is because of the global pandemic. So what do you mean global pandemic? Obviously everybody knows, you know, what happened whenever there's a global pandemic, everything is limited. Yeah, what I mean limited is that there's lots of restriction, you know, because it just get people involved. Anything that gets involved with people, you have to social distance, you know. That's the only way to stop the virus and stop the mass murdering, you know, in 2020. So yeah, man, you always have to wear masks 6 feet apart. It's suffering, and the vaccination is most likely coming out, you know, in early, you know, 2021, which I can't wait. Can't wait for normal life, man. When life is normal, then we can do, you know, very activity. And yeah, like I said, man, lots of things are canceled, and lots of schedules and movies and everything is delayed. Everything and all the businesses, you know, shut down. All the restaurants shut down. Everything shuts down because of, you know, this one puny, you know, invincible virus that you can never see and you can catch anytime. And I always get worried, you know, I do not want to get tested positive, right? Yeah, getting tested positive and, you know, and the virus is no fun because you have to stay quarantined, you know, for 14 days doing absolutely nothing. You have to stay home, no outdoor activity, stop spreading virus, and I and having, you know, symptom, you know, is very painful, you know, even though, you know, it may affect you a little bit. People even die from this virus, like I said, and because of this very dangerous virus, contagious virus going on, this is what happened to the world, man. I think US is not only suffering this, but the worldwide. This is a worldwide problem, man. You know, if I ask anybody about 2020, they say they're gonna hate it. I won't be surprised about that. Yeah, this really sucks, you know. This is a very boring year, and to go over recap, I wasted 1 year living in this, you know, hellhole, man. Yeah, because I cannot do anything and I can't go to work. Well, I just had to play a game and just, you know, run, you know, just to keep myself busy, you know. And people have to always worry all the time, you know, not catching COVID. And it sucks, man. Yeah, this is, you know, pretty much, you know, a very stressful year. And but if you're watching this video and if you know somebody and if that person, you know, just passed away, I'm sorry for your loss. Sorry you have to deal with it, but I have to deal, you know, with my loss already, man. It's just not my year at all. I know that, you know, things can get worse, but I'm already satisfied, you know, what it is, man. Man, I was very looking forward, you know, to this year and also the, you know, the Summer Olympic, but yeah, everything got, like I said, everything has to be postponed, you know. We cannot get into, you know, large gatherings, you know. Oh my God. This is why, you know, people are struggling, man. Man, we're just tired of social distancing. We have to spend nearly at least 1 year of social distancing, and this has to be continued definitely, you know, in part of 2021. I mean, it's not 2021's fault, but we didn't get vaccinated for sure in 2021. 2020 is just a big fat mess, man. It is way worse than 2016 or 2017, man. To be honest, if 2020 doesn't exist, so what will be my worst year? To be honest, well, if 2020 doesn't exist, then 2017 will be my worst year ever, or 2016. Man, like, my life really sucked, man. Like 2016, 2017 just recently ended, or just felt like yesterday. I just have to deal with this two crappiest year, and then I have to deal with this 2020. Like, it's just a mass headache, man. This is the worst punishment I ever got from God, man. Man, I better pray. I better be happy and pray that 2021, you know, needs to, you know, be a better change. If 2021 is worse than 2020, then I don't know what else to say, but I just don't want to put up with bad years anymore, man. Like, there has to be, you know, a light at the end of the tunnel, man. There cannot be, like, no more, you know, darkness anymore. Like, I'm sick of this, man. I'm really sick of it. Yeah, and I am struggling this year too. So before I end the video, do I do well in 2020? Well, I don't know, man. This year has been so bad and stuff. I don't know if I didn't do well this year or not. Like, I cannot really measure. Maybe I do average, maybe I do worse, maybe I do bad, but I definitely didn't do good this year or bad this year, but I don't really know. And this is, you know what's the effect of, and you know what 2020 did to me. It made me feel very stressful, it made me feel very angry easily, and you know what's the worst thing? You know what's the worst behavior that I did in 2020? I prayed, you know, for people, you know, who pissed me off in the past, or people who hate me, or the people that make me mad in the past. I wish they get COVID, which is not a very nice thing to do. Yeah, I've been talking, you know, trash, you know, at the end of 2020. I've been saying really mean stuff about people, and I made like very mean and inappropriate comment, you know, all because of that stressful in 2020. And you mean me, in my heart, I do not want any of you to get COVID. That is not good. Yeah, I mean wishing other people to get COVID or not, it's really bad. You know why it's bad? Because what if the virus, you know, spread, you know, even further, you know, and that will kill, you know, more, you know, lives later, and that's not gonna be good, you know. And you know what's the worst comment that I think about 2020 is that I'm thinking, or I'm starting to like Trump, you know, because, you know, he ignores the virus, and whenever, you know, people get COVID and all, the people I hate, if they get COVID, I'm thanking Trump for that, which is a very mean things to say, man. And I wish I didn't want to say on YouTube, but hopefully this video does not get taken down, you know, just because, you know, of my, you know, mischievous and very bad behavior. But sometimes when you're very stressful, you just cannot control it sometimes. But yeah, man, I hope I can get my act together, you know, soon, and also, you know, start being a very nice person. In 2020, you know, I am not a nice person at all, you know, to be very honest with you. And whenever you hear about this, you know, virus thing and stuff like that, you always have to stay home. Like, there's a lot of, you know, lockdown. This is the biggest thing, you know, why people have struggled this year, because of lockdown. Yeah, I'd rather for you, you know, to have restriction and get punishment, so that way, you know, you don't lose a life, because you know that your life is very valuable, you know, comparing to other things. It's not what about the money or fun you have. You need to protect your health. And once you're dead, you just cannot be revived. That's the worst part of living this world. But I hate to say this, man, you don't have a second life. You only have one life. That's about it. And you are not a cat, you know, with 9 lives. I mean, everybody has one life on Earth, whether you're human or not. It's serious. Yeah, you obviously don't have 9 lives, just like the cat does. So, just based on common sense and just based on this word, so throughout 2020, you know, I gained a lot of experience, you know, which is very good. So that way I can know like what other years are gonna look like, and some year, you know, may get worse. And I have to use my experience, you know, just to propel, you know, forward throughout this year. And if you live through, you know, January 1st of 2021, congratulations to you guys. This was a really big, you know, 2020 has been a very big challenge to us, to, you know, to all of us, man. This is the toughest thing, you know, we have to put up through. This is the toughest thing, and you know, I ever faced in my life. And And hopefully, you know, we can take a break, you know, and take on, you know, other toughest challenges and all that negative thing, you know, that happens all the way, like turn it, you know, to power motivation and make yourself, you know, very strong. And happy new year, you know, of 2021. And yeah, man, if I miss a lot of things I say in this video, just comment below and all stuff. But yeah, man, I'm feeling, you know, a lot more relief, you know, because within 40 hours, you know, we'll be in 2021 in a matter of no time, man. We have to live, you know, in this crappy, you know, year for 366 days, man. 366 days. But that's it. Thanks for listening, you know, this video, and this is way shorter than I thought, so be proud of me. I only put this to like a 36-minute video, so peace out.